Hello. Wow. There's much conversation already. No, I haven't bought my movie ticket. Jesus Christ. It's still like weeks away. But no, I haven't. Sorry, but hold on. I gotta do my other stuff here before I forget. There we go. Alright. I had to post up. No, I haven't bought it yet, and I'm still a little worried too, considering that it tends to be that we've changed theaters a couple times, and so it worries me to make a final decision on something when they keep changing it. I think they're finalized on it, but I have to double check. So they're pretty much only down to one for Minnesota area, because there's only one place that is really super convenient for public transportation. That's the Mall of America. So yeah, I'm watching the movie. We have two friends flying in actually to go out and watch it with the local group. My only worry is that if the movie theater is pretty busy, that's going to be super busy because of everybody. So I'm kind of hoping that everybody gets it early. But I think, is that the meetup weekend or the week before? It's the week before. Meetups are the 4th. It will be on the 14th. So, not sort of daily, consistent. I'll go with consistent, maybe not daily. Anyways, hello. So, I have not opened anything. Cause well, for one, like normal, if anybody has any questions or want to see how I do specific things or whatever, that's fine. Otherwise, because and I might be cutting a little shorter because I have a super busy day tomorrow, and I want to make sure that I'm not like exhausting myself before then. So I might end it around 9 instead of it's 6 o'clock now. But otherwise, I just want to ask if there's anything anybody wanted to see or examples of stuff before they feel like I am stuck in something. So I just want to goof off for a bit. You need help with something? What do you need help with? I don't know, I need to name that different, but school project. Who does stuff for school? Hello. No, I haven't finished the Crackle thing, but it's more of I think when I start the stream already on something, I don't want to make people feel like they're distracting me by diverting my attention away from something that I'm working on. So that's what I'm asking before I open up anything. Well, I know it's your major, but it's still, who does the actual schoolwork? How can control the intensity of a model with the override material of the model's body? As a glowing example, setting the body vector with color. Okay. I don't know if you might need to reword that. When you say a model, is there a specific type of model you're thinking in terms of making it glow? It's easier if I know exactly what it is that you're trying to do it with. I just love that there's like a hidden number in here. 1809. Okay, but like, what kind of a glow? Like, because color technically doesn't make a glow. Color just is for like retexturing, but usually you can over brighten it, but it's not usually going to give you the result that you kind of like. Yeah, so, well, and Like, what model are you talking about, though? Like, specifically, like, what type of model? Or is there something that would be a great stand-in for it? Because, I mean, otherwise, I'm just going to pull up, like, a rock and do that. I just don't know if that's going to be describing something that actually helps you. It's a rock. The way to exchange textures with manes and tails across different models. Yes, there is. I will actually get to that in just a sec here. Ember's model. Okay, well, so we will load Ember. So is it her armor? I'm guessing you're talking about. Does she have the armor built on? Yes, she does. Not her armor. You just want her to glow? Because that's interesting. I do it's going. And I'm guessing you're in something dark. So we'll open up a black map. I think different types of errors have different colors. I'm not 100% sure though. All right, so color doesn't actually cause a glow. Color it's more of, I guess you could say it's a multiplier of the light that's hitting it. So I have to have a light. All right, so we got Amber. So I'm just gonna go in the overrides here. You're saying you were doing it with color. Oops. So that by doing that, I made her black. Looks like she's wearing like a suit. It's kind of just, she's like vented black. I can't even see her. Then doing it like this, so it's just glowy. Why is her head texture different? That's weird. So what is it you're trying to do with that? Because you said control the intensity. Because the intensity is in essence the amount that you have here. So going a higher value is just going to make the effect stronger. Actually, that's kind of cool. It's like an artificial rim. They're really high. That's like not even visible. Now she's just glowy. Yeah, because the only way to really increase the intensity is to just increase the numbers, and then obviously if you change one of these numbers from the rest of them, well, actually those numbers are so high, you're probably not going to tell it. Do that. You're going to start getting that color added in, so a lot more red or like that. That's kind of cool on its own. It's like having a really bright light that's not over brightening everything. But anyways, oh, okay. So if you want to control its fading, like animated, there is no way that I know of for being able to animate a vector bit. If you, well, it depends. Do you want to have control of it? As in, do you want to be able to control its brightness at any point, or do you want it to like pulsate? Because one of them is not possible, one is. Yeah, I can't think of anything that, because you can animate a float value, but you can't animate a vector value. Okay, yeah, if you want to have full control of it, then no. You could use like the sign properties within the VMTs to make it so that you could make it like pulsate, or I think you can do flicker too. but in terms of actually having control of it, you can't. And the reason is, like, say I add in, let's put her back to normal brightness here. I'm going to add a float value of alpha. I think this might work for this. I can go and right-click body, create animation set for, and it will just take everything that's on there that can be turned into an animation set, and it will let me do that. The reason it's not saying colors, because this is saying a minimum to a maximum, like these sliders are. A vector 3 has three, apparently I can count today, 3 values, and because of that, it doesn't have a min and a max. It doesn't know how to split it into 3 different bits. If it could, oh my god, that would be beautiful. Having the ability to control color on sliders would be just absolutely amazing. And I would think that it's something that could be modded in, but I have no idea how to do that. But for those who might want to be curious, so if you actually add an attribute here, you're not going to see anything. Look at all those non-existent things. The reason you're not seeing it is because you have to turn off scene hierarchy. So if I go under that, then this new thing, body, popped up because it's under the body here, and it doesn't put it under the model. I don't know why these work like this. And then you can actually control the alpha. The only reason I don't like alpha is because you can it kind of, and actually this fades in better than I thought it would. It can fade in pretty good from 0, but it's right here. The difference between 99, which is what this is right now, where it's got this like weird effect on how it's looking through things, and then 100 is, it just pops into existence. That's not a good fade if you're trying to come into it fully into existence. But actually, I thought it was pretty bad originally at 0, but it's actually not that bad going from 0. So any value on a override that is a float. I would think with an integer you can, because I think you can assign an integer to a float on here and it would just read at min and max. You technically could do it still. But yeah, it sadly doesn't work for vectors. It would be so amazing if you could. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, if you're looking to control it, the only way I know how to control it in the way that you're talking is, it's not the best solution, but it's to take 2 renders, one bright, one not bright, and just fade between them. The only reason I don't like that is that it doesn't give you a nice bright white in the middle, because you're transparent, you're working your way into it, but it's about the only way I know how to do it. The only other way you could do it is use a light that's only hitting her model, though that can be difficult, and by over brightening her colors compared to another model, you could just turn up the light and make it over brighten, but that's about the only way that I can think of. I really think it wouldn't be that hard to do a mod to color though, to make it so like if it sees a vector 3 to split it into 3 vectors. I just don't know how they would name it, like color 1, color 2, color 3. But oh my god, that would be so amazing. Being able to change the brightness on a model like live like that would just that would be amazing. Yes, that is his waifu. Okay, if that's what you did, that's about the only thing I can think of to do. So, sorry. I really wish it could. Anyways, the other question I had here from Chaotic: exchange textures and mail across different models. Yes, and it looks complicated, but it's super easy, and I do it all the time because it is amazingly useful. So swapping out stuff is awesome. So we're gonna first delete our Ember here. Sorry. And we're going to load up a different model. So I'm actually going to load up Daring Do, because this is probably one of the best examples, because it's already looking like somebody. So, oh, okay. Ignore that she has no eyes right now. I should probably fix that, actually. I had to... You can't hide eyes using overrides. And to hide them, I had to actually modify the file because I used a material override to make her look like Rainbow Dash, so I could take her hair and slick it back while using the original Rainbow Dash model. It was the only way I knew how to do it, and it happened to be that Daring Do worked well for that. So I had... Oh, no, not that one. Yep. Not planning to... Oh, it's probably... Yep, these are already open, actually. So I churned... Because I can't alpha it out. Alpha is not a property of the eye texture. I changed it to a normal texture so I could alpha it out so that I could utilize her head there, but I can hide her eyes if otherwise it was poking out of Rainbow Dash's head. Some weird things, so that'll pop up. So yeah, the only way I know of how to hide the eyes if you are trying to utilize a part of a model, like the head, the mane of somebody else, put it on somebody as a two model mix, is to go and do like I did here. Was I changed it from eyes to vertex lit generic, and you can just use the double slashes to comment it out. It's not destructive. Then if I want to revert it back, it's easy. And then I just hit all the stuff that had to do with the eyes. I kept the base texture because you need a texture, and I just put on alpha 0. Really, once I made it a vertex lit, I could have left the alpha out and just did an override on it, but I'm like, whatever, I'm already in there. It's a reminder then. So that's the only way I know how to get rid of the eyes, because alpha just doesn't work. So anyways, so we have Daring Do, which is essentially just a recolor of Rainbow Dash. So, and you can actually see with the eyes there, I think. No, these are Daring Do's. Is Daring Do's eyes? I thought she was a different color eyes. Maybe. I don't know. Doesn't matter. So, we are going to turn her into Rainbow Dash, which is pretty easy. So, first, obviously, you got to put on your material overrides. And we're going to open that up in the element viewer. And it comes down to doing the same thing on every texture, and it's no matter what you want to override. And it's just adding. So like when you go to like body, because obviously we need a blue body, not a yellow. We're going to right click body, and we're going to say add attribute, and then string. If you misclick the wrong one in here, not a big deal, because you can change it again here. So just make sure it's string. And then just like in, well, eyeball's a bad example. Well, let's go and open our body texture. It says you want to override the base texture, so if you ever forget what it is, it's right in there, top one. So we're going to go and type in, I'm going to go into this again, base texture, and it's going to make it all wonky because as of right now it is redirecting to a blank line. Not really what I want to do. And just so you know, any of these ones here you can override, as far as I know. The only one that doesn't work is self-illumination. You can't enable it without doing it to the original texture. Whatever that one's different, I have no idea. So the easiest way I see how to do this is all the models materials are in about the same location. So I'm just going to copy her material name from here to here. That'll fix it because now it's overriding to the same texture, no change. And I know that Rainbow Dash is in the same folder, the VNLP, so I'm just going to go to Daring Do, and I'm just going to overwrite this as Rainbow Dash. Okay, and now it is redirecting to Rainbow Dash. So this is just redirecting to any directory wherever it is. Another way you can do it here is it already pre-adds in everything for materials folder and before. So what I could do instead is go to VNLP, we'll go down to Rainbow Dash there. And so everything after materials, so this would be this part, and then just go to here, paste it, which will not work because it's now only the directory, not the actual texture. So now I just add in a dash, go to body, and bam, Rainbow Dash is back. And then so yeah, it's the a copy paste of a lot of that. So this is actually be easier. I'm going to copy this. We're going to go to wings now, base texture, paste, It actually could kind of work like that, but I'm going to make sure I get the right one. So wings. All right, now that's done. And then we're going to go hair front. Use texture. Hair front. And now, hers is hair front, but another model might just have hair or some other name. So you have to make sure you do it right. And then yeah, so now you can see they are the exact same model. So you can, if you like, redirect anything. So I could redirect the body, and then you got like that's her mouth, and this perfect cutie mark. So you can redirect any texture to any other texture. It's just not always going to match up quite right. So it doesn't like underscores. There's her giant eyeball. So yep, that's all it is for doing replacing. I do it all the time for retexturing ponies to whatever I need. Comes in handy. How can I let the pupils disappear? I think you could just remove an iris from a model. Otherwise, technically, if you have just the white of an eye, so like on Rainbow Dash here, if I go into, I guess I have the texture on Rainbow Dash, it's still during due technically. If I go into her eyeball here and I go back and make this eyes, turn it to a vertex slit, the eyes no longer recognize the iris texture, so it's ignored. So instead it just uses the base texture, which is a white. I don't think it will any longer utilize the eye lighting feature because it's no longer considered an eye. Where's the volumetrics on? Come on. Oh, that's why there we go. All right, so yeah, it no longer lights just the eyes when you do that. But I will get rid of the people then. Otherwise, you could technically just give, if you're trying to do that but still able to light the eyes, you can just get rid, or open up your, the pupil file here, export it, erase the eye, and then import it again. Because all of these have a alpha layer that shows where the actual texture is. Just make the whole alpha layer black, then it doesn't matter where the texture is for anything. If you're using like two models on top of each other and you're just trying to use the main of one, what I've done before is, like, the juice stain models are really good where you can actually hide the models mains and go bam. You can alpha out all the textures for the body and everything, but usually the eyes still get weird because they're overlapped. So just grab the head of the model and just shift it backwards a little bit so the eyes hide behind it, and that's usually been enough. Yeah, the hair is a little bit backwards from its base position, but it's fine. I don't like doing destructive edits to textures, and that alphaing out eyes, like when I loaded Darien Dew here, the eyes were gone, but that was because I needed them gone for something. I had no other choice. I couldn't figure out any alternative around, so I had to do a destructive edit. That just makes it so anything else that had the Darien Dew model was also destroyed, and it's not the best option. Okay, well, I mean, the recording this is going to be up later. I know Twitch keeps it for 2 weeks, and then whenever I get around to putting it up. So if you need to watch it again for what I did in slow motion or whatever, you can definitely do that. Also, congrats, Skelchan. Yay. Yeah. Well, yeah, for Alpha will be So like on during the you can go and add in, so like for the body here, we can just add float alpha, and that will disappear. And you can do it with everything on a model except for the eyes. So then for the eyes, you have to go around that little bit of a different method. But you also have to be careful that this defaults to 0. But if there's a missing value in there, it still kind of sees it as 0. So if you just type in alpha, hit enter, it disappears and you call it good, you might run into issues. Double check and make sure that this says 0. If you ever have a problem where you're running or you're using the models and you're doing stuff for a while, and after a while you just keep getting, like maybe every 10 to 15 minutes when you're in it, a crash regarding like a library error. I can't remember the actual error name, but it's like every 10 to 15 minutes when you're in the file, if it just keeps crashing, you can't figure out why. It's usually because there's a missing value in one of these alpha ones or in one of your overrides that is causing a overflow in the background. So it's just as far as I can tell, it's leaking information and it's building up in your RAM and it just crashes. And every time I've had that error, I go through all my models and check all my overrides, and I'll eventually find some alpha value that was looking like this. That was missing. It wouldn't even let me put it now, but I will find this missing a value. Just put a 0 in there and that error should go away. It was just super annoying for like a week. I couldn't figure out what was causing some of these issues. I think it was for Alishai, number 2. I think it was when I was having one of those issues. Daring Dude. I like that's a good name for a male version. Oh, okay, yeah, that's why. Because like, when in terms of hiding the face, it's really easy for a lot of these to just to shift the head back so that it hides it behind the other. But yeah, if it's a different shape head or something, yeah, there's sometimes just no choice. You can't hide it. And the issue I had was because, well, actually, you know what? I can show you. Because it will be broken now. Because when Rainbow Dash was falling in the Australia video, I wanted her hair to be pulled backwards, but I couldn't really bend the hair that way, so I needed the hair to actually do a 180. But if I went and loaded up Rainbow Dash's model and I did the override for the eyes, it would also override the eyes for the model I was using, which then meant that because it was a destructive edit, so I had to find a way around that. How could I use her main without using her model? Well, Daring Do is just a recolor of Rainbow Dash, so I recolored the Daring Do model and edited that instead. It ended up working out really well. So is that this one? But because of that, you have the eye textures now floating back there. But if I grab, oh, I'm in the wrong model. I'm like, where's main? If I grab these, we'll hide Rainbow Dash. So this is all the main models I used. I had multiple layers to make sure it looked good. And get there you do. It was the only way I could think of for for making her main look slick back. But obviously this floating eyeball doesn't really work. Anyways, so that's that. Was there any? I think I got through all the questions there. I don't know if anybody had any more. Listen, I realized too, I never actually, or I forgot to alpha out the horn here, and technically Ember doesn't have a horn. Somebody mentioned that in the video. It's not even the right color with the lights on. You can't tell that it's not the right color, but Yeah, I completely forgot for some reason that she she had a horn, and that bugs the crap out of me now. But you do. Oh well. Only one person's commented and noticed it. I don't know of. For those that don't, I don't know if I did this on the stream, but I didn't want. I wanted to save processing, so the in this shot, the dragons that are in there are done really weird. There's only like 6 or 7, so like these 2 are in shot, but then when the camera goes down here, there's a couple more down below. But I was taking dragons from other parts, so this one wasn't in the shot anymore, so I went and used it as one of the other background ones here. And then when the camera swaps to here, I did it. I kept jumping dragons around to put them in the shot for whatever needed to work, so I had less dragons. Otherwise, it was just going to be a crap load of detailed models loaded. I was actually really surprised for how expansive the shot looks, how well it runs. Because there's, I mean, when I have this on, there's a little bit more slowdown. But even like now, there's really not much in RAM, so it runs super efficiently. I'm really happy with that. I just love they're just sitting up here. It's ready, and then oh, there I go. But yeah, for the wind, yeah, it's, well, the way I see it is that hair blown in the wind is usually just hair backwards, and her hair already looks messy. But when I did only one layer, it looked like this. And it looked like she had her hair coming out the one point and then just was bald. And if I wanted to fix that, it made it so that the front couldn't move at all. So the only solution I could come up with was I doubled it up. So there's 2 layers of it, and then it looked pretty good. It's the same thing actually with Sam here. His hair right now is slicking backwards, but once he gets grabbed here, it's actually not the same model anymore. My Sam's, here it is. So there's Sam 1 in phase 1. This is this Sam, and then I have phase 2 Sam, which I believe is underground. Yeah, he's way down there. And the reason I had him separated is because in this one he's freeform, he's moving on it freely, but once he's grabbed, he is now parented to something else. And I didn't want to have something that if I made edits to one, it was affecting the other. So I actually had it split. So right when he gets grabbed, I think right here, but you can see the line right there. He actually it becomes the other model, and at that point, I actually had redone the hair so that instead of being slicked backward, it was slicked forward. So I had to redo the hair twice. But it was because in this position, he's looking upwards, so his hair needed to blow the other direction. So yeah, it took me forever to try to set up some of these shots because I had to keep redoing hair. No, I have not seen Saya's MLP music video because I consider that a spoiler. Hasbro is pushing so hard for the movie that they're essentially giving away the entire movie before the movie is shown. If I'm going to go see the movie, I want to have at least some of it be a surprise. I don't want to go in just like watching a moving version of everything I've already known. So I know nothing. I know like some of the characters from the movies, but I know nothing about the plot of what's going on or anything. I don't care. Whatever. The pony that can't see crap. This look awesome. I've already finished this. I have the GIF somewhere. So that's already in a video. This is the final render of it. But yeah, that's already on YouTube. So that whole video. I just have to move it over to my storage drive because I don't need it. Her special talent is blindness. She's really good at being handicapped. I'm trying to think if there's anything. I think most of what I did on this video was done on stream. So I don't. This the only shot I had stuff on the side done that I didn't show because I did that like kind of that last couple days. So I think you guys have seen everything else on there anyway. Right. Anyways, so as far as I can tell, I don't think there's any other questions. So. If there's not, I'll probably go back to working on stuff. So I still haven't touched this. I was working on other things this week. So I'm still not sure exactly how I'm progressing on this. Alright, I need to remember where I am with this. Those are lit weird. I'm guessing it's just an error from loading a different map beforehand, but those are definitely not lit bright in the final, so whatever. For some reason, she looks like Fry here. Oh, okay, that's why. It looked like she just had a lip that went up and stopped. That's the coloration. She kind of looked like, it reminded me of the Fry pony. Sorry, if I see something weird, I'll probably be pausing it. Is that brightness off? I feel like it's a little bright. I'll do it in post. It's fine. I'm thinking, when I say Fry, I mean the Fry from Futurama, because there's like a cut behind a chubby pony with a hamburger on his butt that has a Fry haircut, and he's basically Fry from Futurama. Oh yeah, I wasn't paying attention. Okay, they just weren't loading. Wait, what happened to my building? Go away, Crackle Monster. Oh. It's way too much bounce. That's better. Okay. Like it was like she was on some kind of drugs and her eyes were exceedingly behind her in motion. No, they won't have a. That would be way too much work to have a sword fight of some sort. I originally had I'd rather always think about everything I could possibly do, whether it's too much work or not, and then narrow it down from there. So that was one thing of like, okay, well, if they were to have some kind of a big fight, how would that play out? And I determined that I would be spending weeks working on a couple second portion, and it would not be worthwhile. Plus, half of the fun of this is having Crackle not moving, that he's just kind of the stoic thing. The only thing I have moving on him throughout the whole video is his mouth and his eyes and his wings. I want to really touch nothing else. I want to have it just be a floating model otherwise. High scope. I thought it was with an eye. It's not the same way as an eye. Okay, so I was kind of considering keeping this because I was changing the scope of it. Yeah, I know, it's nobody's ever said that joke before. I'm original. Okay, so apparently if I want to use this, I have to for one, I can get rid of these. I have to color this different. Come on, Sky Card. Find your light. Oh, this is probably going to disappear if I bring it up again. No, it didn't. Because it's not going to clip anything, is it? A little bit back there, but I don't think I'm even looking that direction. At least not enough to matter. No, there's trees in the way. Okay. So actually that'll work. No, this way. Try to get a right shot. There we go. Okay. Would that be a good lighting? Yeah, actually I think it's pretty decent right off the bat. I'm going to need something to break up some of the lighting in the background. That skybox just got super dark. Oops. That should work. No. Okay. Before I animate that, though, I kind of want to I want to figure out what it is I'm trying to do. Like right now, I know this is going to be a little problem because it comes in the shot, but it's blurred. Easiest way to fix that is to make them get closer. So we're going to keep them essentially the same. What we're going to do is we're going to shrink them down and then just, whoa, that's way too small. That was a little blurred, that's fine. This one's just too blurred. Go with that big. And move it closer. Okay, and that also makes it so that this moves quicker than I want. So I'm going to do a little bit of out just to slow it down. Oh, actually, that's not going to work. So it's right here is out of the camera shot, but I think I'm just going to extend a little bit. Okay, so I'm thinking I kind of have an idea for this now. For one, this is least red for now. So this is layer bring oppressed. What is this one be titled? Something to make it so I know what it is. So I have 1/4 of a second to potentially use before the beat hits. Maybe 1/3 of a second. So what I thought about doing is having the camera here. I'm gonna follow this up with how this looked. I'm not sure if this is what I'm gonna want to do, but it's easier just to do it, and if it doesn't work out, undo it. I didn't actually have anything set up for her to be like this, so I'm just gonna throw something together right now. Why not? Looks super long-legged here, because she's not actually made to be in that pose. She probably had to like duck down a little bit. Not worried about it right now. Alright, so okay, explosion outwards is probably means going from zoomed in to farther out. Might have always zoomed in, yes. 105. So what I thought about doing is having something like this. Maybe more zoomed out than I want to go. Oops, it's not the camera I want. This. Go away, crackle. Larry's butt is always pulsing. Actually, it's not here. It's weird. Alright, I need to put it more into a battle stance. But the ponies are hard to do that for a bit. Let me see if I'm going to use a reference. I don't even know how to spell stance. Apparently, stange. I'm just trying to make it myself, but I probably should look up some more references for some stuff. I have a battle stance one, but I don't really like it. Something like this, but that already has added perspective. I need to try to find it without a too much added perspective. From what I can tell, it's normal stand position with just a low head. Look up MLP battle stance and I get Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay. Alright, looks like most of the good references are going to be up here. And I'm thinking that something like this is probably going to be the better. This isn't really what I'm looking for. What the hell? That's depressing. Yeah, so that's essentially what it is trying to find some kind of a more side view so I have good reference, but that's probably going to be it. So so this is probably fine as it is, so it's going to be just straight down. I don't like these because I want to keep these on the ground. So it looks like it's at a... Actually, it's not that big of an angle. Just like that, maybe? And it pretty much straightens out pretty quick. But the body's elongated. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Go back. Body's elongated? No, not really. And it's just bent backwards. Oh, I think I see what the 3D models have problems for. I think they utilize the shoulders being further back. They don't really work well for that. Otherwise, it looks like it's about straight across, just curves up a little bit. And then they're just spread out. See, this is why the shoulders don't really work well for doing that. What if I keep them forward? still. Whatever, I'll just make do. And see, like here, the head is almost at, or the neck and the head is the level of the shoulders. These models are not made to do that. You'd have to like pull them up to like here to do that. And that's just getting weird looking. But you know what, from the angle I need it from, I think that that almost could work though. And I think the legs are extended. Yeah, so I could actually stretch them too. Problem is I'm doing all these changes, but I'm doing it to a bone that is, actually I'll just go over, stuck. Or it's a bone that's not matching with the other one, so I'm going to have to redo both. And then these are flat all the way to the ground. I can't actually do that without like doing like this. I think they spread them out more. Like that. Okay, and then these are angling up, so I'm gonna do that, that. This wrong one. This one. I feel like it needs more butt. I'm using references. Actually looks better than what I would have came up with on my own. I do need both hooves on the ground. Yeah, more butt. I love that from the movie thing. Needs more butt. Alright, now the problem is I moved these around a lot, but it's trying to get it to match now. So I'm going to match it vertically, and then I'm going to go to the profile and try to match it this way too. So it's about there. So after that, it's just rotation. This leg is a little bit further forward right now. There we go, that's better. Did I move this at all? No, I don't think so. Just seems like it's... Oh yeah, I'm flat to the ground right now. I don't want to be flat. That. See, it doesn't really have a feeling of pressure in here. Like even like the front leg, I'm pretty sure I can. I don't even know why I'm carrying. Like move this one up a little bit and put it in more of a bend, just to keep it from just being T-pose looking. But the main thing is, I just don't think she's low enough here. Yeah, that actually helps. Heads aren't made to do that. It's like, doesn't quite work that way. She'll battle with whirlwind head technique. Ah. Like here she looks kind of angry, but then with the eyebrows she just kind of looks like kind of a slight, like I'm disgusted, but only a little bit. She still kind of looks drunk. I think it's mainly that I don't have enough. I don't think. Can I? If she has eye that controls. Turn them a little bit. So I think that actually would help, yeah. Just a little bit. But I think I'm just trying to figure out how they get around to being angry enough. Actually, the yay butt came from Kyle originally. There was a that's still there. There's a button that he had that was just a button of Philly Twide looking back at her cutie mark when she got it. So, and he got it. I was like, yay butt, and it's just stuck since. How to make this work. We can make this poop face with one slider. That's actually really weird too. Where we're gonna go? See, we get the right mouth, then it actually is pretty good. The zoomed out. I wonder if this is supposed to be the zoomed in one. I must have accidentally undone it. Nope, nope, that is the zoomed in one. Okay. I wonder if it the other way would work better though. I don't know. Let's see. I'm just putzing. Alright, let's see if I can get this pose without breaking too much. Too late. What was this sticky? I moved a little too far forward. This might be like way too drastic of a motion though. Yeah, it's too far forward. Don't call her Stumpy. She's very sensitive. Probably lost a bit of that now. Actually, I probably lost a lot of that. So I usually try to save it before going to the model screen. Yep, I lost all of it. It's always a worry when you go into the model screen. I'm just going to do it now then. Because you don't know if you're going to crash or not by pushing too hard. So like there, I typed too fast and I think I got confused. That is probably not the pose you want to be in. Get off! Ah. No, no. The eyes are weird. That face alone. We're fun from the side. Right, Barbara. Right, Barbara. Ooh. No, I'm gonna do that. It's that. Yeah, it's like this too. Oh, aw, come on. Didn't do the eyes too. Something about that too. It's kind of a Pee Wee Herman smile. Okay, well we are going to fix that. I think if you're checking for booty, that's a little too close. Well, I don't know if it's called personal. I mean, it's her, so it's not that weird. Which reminds me of a Star Wars song. Actually, this one's going to need to be a little bit more bent than this, because it is further forward. Not like it really matters that much. Why can't I unstick these hooves? Damn hooves. Sticky. What do I do with these? No, this is originally why I needed it, was to get her shoulders copied because I destroyed them too much. Okay. Let's do like this for right now. small little changes I'm making probably actually cause the animation to not run right. Now you gotta move them. But I'll just putz with that later. It's gonna be such a short bit. It turned my nose up at you. Oh. Alright, I know that. Let's see if I don't think I'll be able to. There we go. Now she can do like evil things because she's evil Lyra. Now I have to put implied positions off. I like how you can just like quick animation with this. Is like it's rare. Nothing wrong with Crackle here. It's a normal day for Crackle. Help me! Help me! Oh, I might have destroyed him too much. He might not have a normal form anymore. Well, there you go. Alright, so this is about what the average size for a Crackle, I want to assume, is. So I'm trying to, I know that it's going to be possible to use them as they were from the other one, so I'm just putting them in a position that makes sense for where they were. This other one's actually going to be probably the hard one. I'll just put them like this, screw it. Use the shot that matters, so I need to make sure it looks okay from here. Camera, you're drunk. Too much of a change. Probably want to add more crackles then. Okay, so this one's actually got to go. Yes, go to bed, Cameron. Can I have an idea for doing some epic camera stuff? Yeah, that's gonna be the idea. Warhorse, how do you miss Lyris? We had, well, you were probably here for the butt sniff, so that's fine. The thing is that I'm gonna probably need crackles that are exploded off in more directions than just what is. We also need one here. Okay, I need one more. At least one more. So I probably want to keep off camera a bit. I thought about where to put my camera, but I think it's a bit distracting. I think I might put them like, I want to imply same size, so I'm going to put them here. Too many teeth, that's even more distracting. I wonder if putting them like there would work. And then having the camera at this first part. I mean, it should be super quick, but... Okay, so I don't even need that much. Like right there with a high aperture. Yeah, because then it blurs them. And if I do the lighting right, it might look pretty good. What did you record? Did you take a big GIF of it? Yes. Yes, you missed butt sniff. It loaded in like that, and then we had some fun. I was waiting for it to be animated. I would have been both proud and disappointed. Okay, so for this part I'll do it like this, but I want to do something special with this. Lyra won't be slowed down like that, but... the crackles will. Don't do that quite yet, but I'll get there. Well, actually, I probably want to do that now. I'm just checking to see if some of this works right now. I have an idea for something, but sometimes it doesn't always pan out to act when I actually do it, so... Because right now you can say a lot of this is just see if it works. If it doesn't, oh well. They really care about the eyebrows right now. When she's squinting, I technically don't need them. Would it be better just to put them all the way down? No. I think the eyebrows do add something, but it's so much extra work to get them right, and I just don't see it being worthwhile a lot of the time. Just want to get them something. decent just for now. Whatever, it's fine. Too quick at the end. Might need to extend this a bit. No, I kind of want to keep it quicker. Okay, that's better, keeping the camera backed up a bit more. I'm trying to play off of the try to be epically cool to make it even more stupid in essence, I guess. I was thinking of probably... yeah, I might change maps on it, because I think that it might work better if I'm on an empty area.
Might be too short a time. Oh, I think it's fine, actually.
I hate like the live camera doesn't keep up right, but when you actually play it slow, it actually does animate correctly. Yeah, he's got quiet all of a sudden. Oops, wait, I want the lights on. Okay, so that's what the motion blur is going to be. So at least it's... I did want to make sure that, like, Lyra is still visible during that. If we could, like, Lyra kind of grind her teeth, like, Rawr. Angry Lyra. Rawr. 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 She's gotten the chew with tobacco. This isn't creepy as hell. Lyra want pudding. Pudding. Ah, it doesn't make with the lip movements right. Super sauce. There we go. I just love the like. It's like. That's waifu material right there. It kind of looks like the Grinch. It needs to be wider. Okay. So like that. Hi. I'm a turtle. Turtle. Hi all. My name's Lyra. What's your name? Nom nom nom. Nom nom nom. No, it doesn't work for that one. It is just gonna look. Okay, I gotta undo that before it gets stuck. Okay. Okay. Something with the motion there by accident. What I'm thinking about doing is, when it gets to this point, having it be like a little bit higher, so it'd be like there, and then doing the. Actually, I'm gonna try right now because I'm kind of curious. I'm a gobbler. What the hell's a gobbler? I love this song. This isn't going to be final product or anything. I just want to get an idea as to whether or not this will work. Oops. Let's go here. Is that bookmark in the middle? Must have changed the timing on something. Good work. Sneaky. She's not simply about sneaky. But no, she's there. Hobgobbler, hobbly gobbler. See, you laugh at it now, but if I would have done that with Ember, you would have been like, bad. Okay, so if I cut it there, it's fine. No, I'm not doing that. It's fucking stupid. Alright, so that does work. And actually it doesn't work too bad just as it is, though I would do that in post. I just wanted to see the concept works. No, that is not the way you want to do it. I was only testing it to see whether or not the concept worked. If you do it like this, you're going to see just the same issue I'm having right here, like because like I will need to first figure out where my focal plane is. I'm gonna hide these until I figure that figured out. Because like it's clear here, but then so my camera goes boom to this point. I need to make sure that the camera changes focal point to this point. It's a hat.
Somebody told me to try and freak you out with it, but it's got pins in it, so I can't wear it.
No, it wouldn't really freak me. You poked me with it. If I would have turned around and saw it, it would have been different.
Too bad. Hi, people! You know what?
Okay, so that's in focus. And then while it's spinning, so at this point, we need to have it go and change focus to both there. And then at this point, we need to have it put to, get to my point here in a sec here. Focal points should be usually just a little past your subject. There. Nope, that's a little too close still. It's usually things that are closer than the focal point are usually still pretty good in focus. That should be fine. Okay, so then it switches the focus to be right there. So now that should be in focus. Okay. What is my aperture at for this? Not that high, but I'm probably gonna keep it like that. But if I keep these on, if I were to have a high aperture for this, like up to here, you're gonna get this blurred line because it's an actual existing object. So you're not gonna get nice clean bars. It's gonna be like you're looking through a black slit instead of it being like an effect that you put on the camera. So no, you do not want to do it that way. But for just testing a concept, it works pretty well because it's actually trying to get it to work like that could be difficult. If you're looking to make something that's cinegraphic. I can't remember. I don't know what the name of it, but theatrical, like that has the black bars on there. You can do that a little bit of a different way. I can show you how to do that. I'm gonna have to save because this is probably gonna crash it. So, what you do is you add an overlay. So down here you have your effects. If you go to add clip to track and then go to material overlay, all the other ones here don't make sense if you think about it. You're adding a texture, which is a material. So material overlay, and you can add actually like color correction, some film grain stuff. But if you have any type of post program for color correction, it's going to do a much better job than SFM is going to do for that. So I really would not touch the color correction. Leave it to the post effect stuff. So we're going to do material, and it's just going to give you this little thinger here. I'm just going to extend this to the whole shot, just so I have it. You can do it in the partial ones or not, though. And I'm going to right click, and you have to go into the element viewer for this, and it's just going to say material. So yeah, I'm going to save just to make sure I have it. And there's already these ones called CinemaScope bars. It's a download off of whatever, and so off of Workshop. And so now you can see if I disable it, I have black bars. And those are going to be clear no matter what. So, I wonder how this would actually work with black bars. It definitely makes it feel more cinematic. The one thing you have to worry about though with the black bars is you're going to get situations where things are going to be if you remove them, potentially not working anymore. I had the problem of I was using one of the black bars, and that's the other thing too, is your work camera has them too. So if you're working, you can shut them off, but then you don't know whether or not something you have it works. So like, let's say I have this angle with Lyra, which is kind of cool. I don't know about him, but if I remove those bars, Lyra's hoof is now floating. So you have to be careful. In Remembrance, I did it that way, where actually if I remove the black bars, I think when she was looking up at the door, her hoof was floating in nothingness. So you'd have to be able to watch out for that a little bit. But you can do that for any bars. I think this is... No, this isn't 2:1. Forgot what this one's ratio is. 1:6:9? I can't remember. I think this is the bars I used for Remembrance. But if you have any post software for editing, again, do not use the bars for a reference, but do not render with the bars. I made the mistake with Remembrance, and I forgot to meant to actually disable them. But you get so used to seeing them, you forget that they're actually there. The reason for that is anything you can do to keep the original as untouched as possible and do all your touching later is best. So like on Remembrance, at this part, yeah, this part, when I did this part, there is a shockwave effect that comes out, and you can see like the window itself is like bulging here along the edges. And that was in effect I did in After Effects. The problem was is that because I forgot to remove the black bars, they were part of the video. So when I did that effect, I had to like be like careful. Like I originally had it where oops. Right before it blew up. Yeah, you can actually see it's actually pulling in. So I used an effect to have everything pull in, and then when it blew up, it did the opposite and it jumped it to pushing it out. It added an extra oomph effect, and I thought that was really cool. Problem was when I went to go pull in, like when it's pushing out, it would actually push the black bars out, but whatever, I could just cover it up with the new black bar and you're good. The problem was when it was pulling in, it was pulling in the black bar, and I can't cover that up. So that became where I had to severely limit where I could do that effect. So if you have software that can do some of the effects, let that software handle the bars that go over it, the color correction. Don't be editing your originals, because otherwise when you do need to add some of the effects, it actually becomes a problem, and which happened here. I also had the that little like spidery effect that's coming out of there, like a shockwave thing. That was done in After Effects actually. I just looked up like a shockwave and just so I could add something to it, and that's what it came out as. And I'm glad I did, because it actually adds kind of a cool little aura effect to her. But yeah, don't touch your original stuff. I really like how that bulgy effect popped up, but except for you can really see it right at that last second. Okay, yeah, the windows bulge in. After Effects. So, but yeah, I'm just letting you know, because I meant to render without the black bars, and then I did all the 4K renders, and then I went and I realized when I was like doing the last one that I didn't, and I didn't want to redo all the renders again, so I was like, fuck it. Whatever. But I really wish I would have remembered. So that sucks. One of the other nice things actually in here is the CinemaScope one has this grid one you can get. Why did it not? Apparently, I cannot just add it. So it has this grid, so if you wanted to do it but you didn't want to actually have the black bars on there, you could have this on there and instead, and so this would show you the lines to follow. It breaks that also down into rule of thirds, helps you with perspective and positioning and aligning stuff. I knew that was going to happen. So so that's actually pretty nifty too. The thing is sometimes it's hard to visualize the black bars, so for remembrance I was using both for a little while, but the overlay with the grid was actually kind of distracting and annoying, and I eventually just got rid of it. Remembered for remembrance. I don't even know. Remembrance didn't even get its name until like it was just about out. So when I was rendering it, I don't think it was it, or we was even called that, because if you actually look at the save files for it, it's named Remembrance on here because that's what I'll name it, but everything on here is called Awaken. That's originally what I named it, mainly just because I needed to name it something, and that's what I went with. But it wasn't the actual final name for it. It wasn't until it was just about out that it really, other than like Australia, because it was based on the book, most of them I don't name until the end, because I don't want to name it. Like this one, I named it Awaken, but then when it was finished, I felt that that was a spoiler, and so instead of, I didn't want to allude that there was, that when she was going there, if you would have heard the title Awaken, when she went in that room, you would have immediately assumed that the statues are going to come to life or something. That was, and I didn't want to have that assumption. So the name instead for, I can't remember, I think I put them in the credits, but, of the video description, but, that name I felt worked better because it worked both at the end, but as a title early on, it gave the assumption that a different assumption, so it was more of a surprise to people. Most people didn't actually catch what was going on until just before it happened, which is great. That was the whole point. So it was like sometimes a title or a description, it can be a spoiler, and I didn't want to give spoilers. So, though I think now everybody knows what's going on. Yeah, and sometimes you can catch a title earlier. I don't like to even think about it. Like a lot of the pictures, I think I got most of them taken care of, but yeah, there's still this one. I don't even know what that is. I think it's that other Lyra picture, Lyra Balmon picture, but I'll usually just type random crap in there. And then I'll go through here later and be like, because I named it after that point, and then I'll be like, what is that again? I had to go through here and spend like an hour or two just cleaning out files because I was really stupid. It's a bad habit, but what do you do? I should probably move my Australia render out of the main folder here. Come on, go faster. But technically I have to move that to my storage drive, but that's going to take forever. I just try to keep the ones that I actually care about touching and working on in here. Let's see. I think this goes a little fast, but I think I'm going to have to play with the camera at this one so that it's not as much of a jarring change. I wonder if I can go to it early. I can't really, because they say something right at that last bit. Something like that could work, but I'd have to like go like this instead. I'd have to stop it, but I'll worry about that later. I would too quick of a cut. Second minute anyway. I'm wondering if every time I cut back to Lyra, have it be something else has changed about her. No, not more and more pissed. Like, right now, I just have to go back and forth for a stand-in. It's just so I know that that's my plan, is that I want to go back and forth, but it's not anywhere near camera or anything. I think... what I kind of want to do is, because we have... throughout the entire thing, it implied that there's, like, there's all the crackles, but then there's like the main crackle, and like, so basically boss crackle, and so I feel like that is the crackle that needs to show up now. Let's see, boss crackle. That boss crackle. It's just specializing. Oh, his head doesn't work though. Alright. Hello. Dagon. Dagon. It's like, oh. Oh. Shumps. Oh. Wait. There. There. It'll fix Crackle. I'm sorry, Crackle. You shall be normal size. Sometimes I get the ideas where I have an idea that would work for the Steam, but it actually turns out to match perfectly with the music or a specific things that makes things better. I do it all the damn time. Actually, half my videos are normally that. I work off of where if you don't know what to do, just start pushing buttons and throwing things around, or like spinning things, goofing around, because every now and then something clicks. And so yeah, it's a like when I made the Leaving the Stable video, certain scenes I knew exactly the shot I wanted, where to put them, what in the background, everything. They were like my I guess you could call them like keyframes of a storyboard. They were like the points throughout the video that I know I wanted, and everything else was just how do I get to the rest of it. And so I focused on the ones that I knew I wanted, and by doing those, it eventually started just making me go, oh, that actually would work into this good, and work into this good. It was all accidental, but it's fine. If it works, it works. So how big of a crackle do I want to compare it to the Lyra? I'll say this big, probably. Okay, another Red Bull. What? It didn't do what I wanted it to do. There we go. Okay, now I can move him with shift. Okay. I think I just wanted to zoom in really quickly right at the beginning and then just keep it there. Motion blur might be too much for that kind of a zoom out. I probably can just copy paste the sky card. I don't really care about ensuring accuracy in the distance, and I don't even think it's going to stay as those. You can't even see it. The only one that might be an issue is right where it is, but even then. Yeah, that could be a bit of an issue with the way it's set up. I just got to move it in such a way that I don't have to worry about it. No, no worries there, and we just have that little gap right there. Like that when it's not technically. Oh, it was kind of unfocused. But I kind of want to have a different background here, like nothing even related to the city, like go stupid, like burning surroundings or something, like animes do, I guess. So I'm thinking about having other crackles come in there. I just trying some random stuff, kind of like I said before, just throw stuff out there and see what sticks. I get a slight thought on something and then I'm like, oh, let's give it a shot. I want to be like a preparing kind of thing. The other camera is moving. I probably need this one then too. I think the reason I'm not liking that is that I'm already zoomed in. So if I'm going to use it, I have to keep zooming in and move it or not. Because otherwise I'm moving the camera backwards and that's just not working. I have to keep it, I can do like that maybe. And I'm trying to make it, I'm going to go like this is going left to right, right, oh no, that's actually the same direction, isn't it? I thought I was going the opposite for a bit there. As long as it's not going back and forth too much, I think it should be fine. Oh yeah, I'm doing this backwards, I think about it. be so bad. The only thing I'm going to be worried about is if I do camera like that. Oh, normally it leads to motion blur. I can reduce it though, drastically. Yeah, you're getting a little bit of extra blur when normally it shouldn't. But it's actually not that bad. Usually as long as your subject isn't moving too much, but she technically is. I might have to do a test run or something just to be sure. This is so fucking stupid. But I'm okay with it. I like stupid. Still, otherwise it's a little bit weird. I can maybe zoom in a little bit. Maybe just turning. I go to hit paste instead of hit copy. I kind of want to do an overhead, but I don't know if it's going to work because you can't see the mouth. I haven't done a profile with him, actually. Or her, I guess. It's never been said for sure. I think it was just male, female, and crackle. That's too much. increase this that way it wasn't that much from disorientation, but I think it's still too much. Let's leave it for now. Nope, it's not too much. Okay, so that's all it's so far. So there's the freezes are worth it alone. Anyways, alright, but it's 9. I'm actually gonna head out. Like I said, I was gonna head a little earlier, so that I can actually like get some R&R time before busy day tomorrow. So yay. Anyways, I think you guys said enough stupid. So anyways, thanks for coming. I'll be back to, I don't have anything going next week, so yes, Tuesday. So I should be back Tuesday. We can work up more stupid, but at least now I have a little bit of better idea for direction. That's good. That's the hardest part, I think, is just once you start downhill, it just rolls. So okay, yeah, I will see you guys later. Have a mouse in a house. There's a kitty, like, sure. I have my own stream up and the delay for it. Now I got 2 cats going, just looking at each other. Alright, whatever. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Alright, bye-bye. Bye-bye.